Hey, Perry Peacock here beside our personal survival shelter. This is our, you may have seen a video on it, this is our poncho, rain poncho that can be a tarp, can also be a hammock, and I've got it set out as a hammock here. I slept in there last night, very comfortable. And I was just trying out our new cocoon cover that goes over the top of it, which is just a very small cover, just big enough to allow you to sleep in this at night and be sheltered from the rain and that sort of thing overhead. So I just wanted to show you something. This goes along with our Simplifying Survival Core training module, and all of our survival kits come with a Swiss Army knife of either the camper or hiker series. And I wanted to show you a couple things you can do with this. And what I want to do is, I'm probably going to take a nap sometime later today. I just want to guy this thing out right here. And this thing here is way too flimsy. So I'm just going to stake down over here in the ground and tie off a parachute cord to here. But I wanted to show you some things you can do with your Swiss Army knife and make a tent cord line tensioner. So let's show you how to do that here. Okay, the Swiss Army knife comes with a couple blades that we're going to use here today. The saw blade, which that blade is very sharp, very aggressive. The teeth are wider, have a wider profile than the back does, so once you cut through with the teeth, the back is not going to give you any resistance. So we're going to use that tool, and we're also going to use the reamer tool, which I call drill reamer. It's also got a little hole in here for, you can use it as a sewing awl, and I'll show you that in another video. But let's want to make us one of these line tensioners, which here's one right here finished. And this is very handy. Normally I use a taunt line hitch just about all the time, but it's kind of nice to be able to do this, or to know how to do this. This, when you tighten up with one of these, say you have some pretty rugged wind conditions, this thing will not let go of your cord. When you tighten it up with this, the way we do it, it really binds down on it, and it's not slipping at all. So let's go ahead and get started here. Okay, I've got a stick here, about finger diameter is what you're looking for, and I'm going to cut a section off of it. So what I want to do is get out the saw, and about hand wide, fist wide, or whatever is good. And this fallen tree gives me a little bit of a kind of a rest right here where I can hold this thing. So all we want to do is just take the saw, and we're just going to cut through this thing. And okay, so that's all we got to do right there. Now let's go ahead and maybe I'll shorten it up a little bit. It's easy enough to do. Okay, that's about right. Now let's go ahead and get our holes drilled. Alright, so I'm going to get out the reamer tool, and I'm using it as a drill today. So all I do is come back about a finger width from the end, and I go back and forth just a little bit like this, just to kind of get a hole started initially. And after that, all I do is just turn it like this. And what I do is, if I'm making these, what I do is I just drill. When I get about halfway through, I'll pull it out and kind of clear the chips, and then start again. And when the point of it starts coming out this other side, like right now, then it's very quick just to go to the other side like this, get started. And now we just go back through and clean that hole out all the way through. Alright, we're good to go here. I kind of run it around a little bit like that, just kind of get it nice and all cleared out. So there you go, we got one hole. So we're going to do the same thing. Come over to the other end of the stick, start right there, And we just drill on through here. About got it. Just coming out the other side. There we go. Oh, this could be a handy use. I mean, you might possibly use it in making some kind of trap or snare, or I have used it at times. One time I was making a pole that I needed to have hang out over a stream that was about 20 feet below me. I was going to drop a bucket to get water, and I needed to have a way of holding the string out there and be able to pull it up and down through the hole in the stick. So I made a hole like this, and that's what I did. But anyway, so there's our two holes in our tensioning bar. So now let's go up here to the personal survival shelter, and let's hook this thing up. Okay, I want to guy this thing out a good way so I have a pretty good angle on it. I don't want it to be flat down on me, so I'm going to come out here a little ways and let me get out a tent stake. And okay, right here we'll shove that thing down in there like that. Okay, now we're good to go. Okay, so I'm going to tie off to this tab. So I'm going to tie some cord to that. I'm just going to use my survival bracelet here. Just pull some off like that. And tie me a knot in here. And we'll go down to the other end and do it all upright here. We'll put that alright, so now just pull out this cord here. Alright, to use our tensioning bar, what we're going to do is take our parachute cord and shove it through one of the holes. And now we're not going to come back through this way, we're going to come around so we go through the same direction that we went through the first hole in. And then what we do is just tie just a single overhand knot in it. That's all we need. Like that. Okay, so now we have our bar here. So what we do now is just pull up the slack in it. Alright, now we've got our tensioning bar in here, and as you can see, since this cord here wraps around, it wants to put a twist on our line that comes from our tarp, and so that creates some tension that keeps this thing from sliding. The other thing that also happens is we have leverage this way as well. This is our pivot point, and this is the end of our lever, and so as we tighten down on that, it just pulls more and more, and so we have a double twisting action here, and the one using some leverage enables us to tighten down on that cord very tightly. You know, and the more I pull on it, I can't pull it straight anymore. So the tighter I pull, so now that thing is set. It's not gonna slide on me in a storm or whatever. I'm set. I'm good to go. So there you go, right there, making a line tarp or tent line tensioning bar with the Victorino Swiss Army knife.